Hello everyone, it's Tracy here to share a different kind of project with you. It's our grandson's second birthday this month. He has an ocean-themed bedroom with a large whale on the wall that he just adores. Today I'll be showing you how I transformed mixed media papers into this clean and simple under-the-sea birthday card with fun chipboard sea creatures and hand-cut images. I'll be sharing tips on how I made this transformation as we make this sweet card together. Let's start by coloring the chipboard. One of the ways I transform this mixed media paper set into a clean and simple card is by selecting fun elements to pair with it. This darling crab and octopus come from the Little Birdie underwater chipboard set. I have chosen watercolor paints to color these sweet creatures using the M-gram paint I have in my stash, but any watercolors you have should work. The first thing I do is adhere the chipboard to a piece of scrap paper with repositionable tape. This helps hold it in place as I work. First I brush over the entire chipboard piece with clean water, then start with a base of a medium orange-red, and then go in and add shadows with a little darker red on the ends of the appendages and around the border of the face. I leave the eyes unpainted for now. We'll be coming back to them in a few minutes. By mixing red and orange paint, I get just the color I'm looking for. With a few basic paints, you can create many other colors by mixing and blending the colors you have. Just off camera, I have a jar of water to clean my brush between colors. I need to say here that I'm not a watercolor expert, so if I can do this and have it look nice, so can you. Let's move on to the octopus. I'm using similar techniques with a vibrant yellow base and orange shading. I would like to talk a little about brushes. You can try any paintbrush you have, but if you do much watercoloring, I think it's worth having one or two nice watercolor brushes. You don't need an expensive Kolinsky sable brush for casual crafting. However, a brush designed for watercolor holds paint differently, so it works better. I keep these brushes separate from my mixed media brushes and use them exclusively for watercolor. As promised, we're back to the eyes. I simply go back in and paint the eyes with a fine tip brush using white gesso. The pupils are holes cut into the chipboard, so no paint needed here. The octopus eyes are a little more detailed with two rings along with holes for the pupils. I paint the outer ring with white gesso. The inner ring is painted with the darker orange color that I used for the shading. There are some small markings etched on the octopus face that I'm highlighting with white gesso, along with the smiling open mouth. I'm also adding white dots of paint on the tentacles where you would find the suction cups on a living creature. Since this is a birthday card for our 2-year-old grandson, of course I needed 2 birthday balloons. I'm using the same colors for the balloons that I used on my crab and octopus. This will tie these fun colors together across the card. Here's a funny story about these balloons. My one and only balloon stamp is too large for the scale of this card. So a while back I had stamped out some images including a perfectly sized balloon. But of course there was only one. No worries. I figured I could quickly trace a couple balloons. This wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. It took quite a few tries to get 2 nice ones. Here's a fun look at my feeble attempts. I add darker color around the edges for shading and lift-off color where needed to lighten the center, and then add some more color back until I get the shading I'm looking for. Here's a tip for you on cutting curves. It works better to move the paper into the scissors rather than moving the scissors around the image as you cut. In order to celebrate that it's our grandson's 2nd birthday, I die cut the numeral 2 and adhered it to the yellow balloon. Another way to transform this mixed media paper into a clean and simple card is with the arrangement used. My focal image is a darling whale fussy cut from the paper. I plan to place it into the center of a ring, then arrange a group of elements around the bottom, including the chipboard crab and octopus, along with the fussy cut starfish and coral. I die cut my ring using 2 circle dies. I taped them in place before running it through my die cut machine. The result is a perfect ring. I'm using distress inks to color the ring to coordinate with the background paper. Even though this is a clean and simple card, I just had to add a bit of visual texture. The ring is spritzed lightly, then blotted with a soft towel to dab off the water, which leaves water droplet marks on the ring. Perfect texture for this ocean-themed card. The edges are defined by rubbing with dark gray ink. This birthday sentiment is stamped onto white cardstock and trimmed closely. Even though these papers would be gorgeous on a mixed media project, I thought this teal bubble paper and blue ombre waves would be perfect for this clean and simple card. Most Little Birdie paper collections have designs that would work well for a clean and simple project. It's really a matter of perspective. I wanted to create an adorable, fun card for our grandson and really adore how this paper came together to achieve the results I was looking for. After adhering the base pieces together, the sentiment is centered and glued down. Then the remaining elements are arranged so I have a feel for where to place the ring. The paper images are fussy cut from the beautiful embellishment sheet included in the Song of the Sea collection. Our grandson's bedroom has an ocean theme, including a large whale on his wall. so I cut the coral, starfish, and bubbles to arrange underneath the whale, along with the octopus and crab chipboard pieces. Once the ring is in place, I decide on the final arrangement of the embellishments and glue them down. It's important to layer and overlap the elements so that they fit together naturally. Balloon lines are sketched on with pencil, then traced with permanent marker. Here's a hack for getting the right color paper for framing a card. I have quite a few different blue cardstock papers, but none of them were quite the right color. I took the one that was the closest, but just a little lighter than I needed, and rubbed the edges using distress ink to get the perfect hue. These edges are rubbed with microglaze to set the color. Once everything was together, I realized I needed two more things. I add a lighter border around the sentiment to help make it pop. Finally, it needs a little bling, which I add with a few iridescent sequins. Don't you agree? These sequins add just the right amount of sparkle. Thanks so much for viewing. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and click on the subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Here are links to more videos you might enjoy viewing. You can visit the Little Birdie Crafts store with the link found in the description. Leave a comment or question below. Your feedback and support means so much to me.